Good morning, Southern California, AM 1220, KHTS. The show's Fred Arnold on the Via Hour. I'm joined by my friend Myles McNamara. Myles is the owner of Comfort Keepers in Home Care. I want to make sure I got that right.
It's a mouthful.
I want to talk about parenting your parents and really helping your parents out, that reverse role that many of us have had. And, you know, I have parents that are anywhere from 75 to 85. It happens.
Right, and that's what we were talking about at the break, and I'm glad you led in with that, because the hardest transition we have as adult children is starting to have to parent our parents. When that circle of life comes around and now your parents are losing cognitive abilities, or maybe, you know, physically they're breaking down, how do you approach the fact that they need care but maintain their dignity and self-respect? But the generation we're caring for now is a very proud generation. 60s,
very
70s,
hardworking, 80s. Proud. It's the end of the great generation
exactly.
that many talked about.
So, you know, a lot of us, our parents were our heroes. You know, they raised us. I mean, some of them, they're not so much our heroes, but again, there's that obligation that you need to take care of your parents.
And mine were.
Yeah. You know, so when dad was that scholar, rocket science, or mom was bottom line is we're parenting our parents. That is the hardest transition I see on a daily basis for our adult children. So there's ways to do that, and I would encourage anybody to contact us, because we have educational materials. We have training materials on how to deal with a parent with dementia or Alzheimer's. Our kids don't know how to address that. They still take the logical approach. I mean, and again, it's too long to get into now, but again, I would encourage, if anybody would like some educational materials, our skills lab is open, free to the community. You don't have to be on service with us. You come on up. We've got, you know, physical things we can train you on. We've got educational DVDs and videos. But one thing I'd want to get in before we get off the air, Fred, is it seems Captain Obvious to me because I live it, but a lot of people don't understand that if you don't have the legal documents in place to care for your parents, the hospitals will not talk to you. If something, God forbid, happens where your mom or dad can't speak for themselves and you go flying to the hospital, if you don't have an advanced health care directive, if you don't have the legal document that says the doctors can talk to you and that you can make decisions regarding your parents' health care or well-being, they will not talk to you. They will make the decision themselves, which, again, it's not the doctor's fault. They're just following the law. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times what we don't realize is, do you have children?
I do, 4.
Any of them 18 yet?
1.
Okay. Do you have an advanced health care directive for them?
Not for them, for me.
But for them,
yeah.
They're 18. You as the dad cannot any longer speak for them because
wow.
they are an adult.
I see.
So God forbid something happens to them, they land in the hospital, they're going to, dad's there, dad's here, honey. They're going to say, I'm sorry, Fred, do you have an advanced health care directive? Mm-hmm. So I would encourage you to look at that.
So anyone 18 or over?
18 or over, a legal adult, you need to have an advanced health care directive. And a lot of people get that confused. Oh, I'm power of attorney. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, that's also splitting a hair too. Are you power of attorney, or are you just a signature on their bank account? You know, because power of attorney, then what's the language that says that you become that power of attorney?
And on what subject matter are you power of attorney
exactly.
for?
Sometimes you have finance, you've got health, mm-hmm. you've got all these different aspects of it. But just because you're on the account and you can sign their check, that just means you can pay a bill for them now and again. Doesn't mean you can make any legal decisions, medical, finance, otherwise.
Let me ask you, what's your attitude towards, I'm a big proponent of get a trust. Either do it online or get an attorney. I usually recommend an attorney because I think someone should get professional advice. Trust in, because it has an advanced healthcare directive in most trusts. Right. It has your properties are put in trust in most cases, and you get a little bit of direction on that. Tell me about the advice you give when it comes to that package, if you will.
Well, that really is going to be a financial coup in that you're going to avoid probate. You're going to do things that are going to save you from taxes. It's tax avoidance, not tax evasion, which is illegal. Right. Avoidance is not. But just, yeah, advanced healthcare directives are usually included in a trust. Mm. And I'm more concerned, and I bring that into our scope of education with our clients and such, but I want you to be able to speak for your mom or dad in the hospital when you're making medical decisions and financial decisions. The trust is also important because it's going to save you money, it's going to keep you out of probate, it's going to save you in taxes, and it's going to protect your assets. So absolutely, if you have an opportunity to get a trust, all your assets are in that trust, and the advanced healthcare
directive?
The advanced healthcare, we'll call it the AHD. Okay, Fred?
I was going to wait for an acronym on
That's right. We need an acronym. But that's usually part of the trust. But again, the trust is usually financially based, and the Advanced Healthcare Directive is your medical base. And then you have the Advanced Healthcare Directive for financial or for medical. So again, for your parents, for yourself, for your children who've reached the age of 18, I would highly encourage you to see an attorney and get all that stuff done.
Or just call your office. You can give
call
some
us and we'll
recommendations.
refer you.
Yeah, and some thoughts. And I want to touch upon one thing real quick before we jump. You have a little resource center there on Lyons Avenue for people to come in and get information.
Yeah, that's our skills lab, and again, we've got a hospital bed, we've got a mechanical lift, we've got walking devices for ambulation, we've got transfer benches. A lot of people are thrown into that role as a family caregiver, which if you put a dollar amount on that, if you were to pay all the family caregivers who are doing it free for their family members, it's over a $200 billion with a B dollar industry of people out there, 200 billion who are doing family caregiving chores for a loved one, and they're losing work, they're probably losing their own health because they're not taking care of themselves. But anyway, they can come to our skills lab. We'll show them the proper way to do a transfer, a stand and shift, or again, biggest thing is dealing with a parent with dementia. Watch that video, get some insight on how to deal with mom who's maybe repeating herself or saying things that aren't completely accurate. The biggest mistake our adult children make they're going to correct them. They're going to logically try to teach them like they did their children. Well, this is a degenerative disease. You're not going to teach them anything anymore. So you've got to make their quality of life and their in-the-moment time special.
Yeah. Thanks for coming in, and thanks for all you do, Myles. Those who want to reach out to you, how can they get you?
We're right, as you said, on Lyons Avenue, 23900 Lyons Avenue, next to Doc's Inn, which seems to be a landmark here.
Especially for seniors, because that was the place in the 70s, wasn't it?
Exactly. But also, 661-287-4200, or go to comfortkeepers.com, or we have a great site with a lot of educational videos as well called seniorcaresantaclarita.com.
Seniorcaresantaclarita.com, comfortkeepers.com. Yeah. And the phone number one more time, 661-287-4200. Hope, thanks for coming in.
Fred, my pleasure.
Yep, thanks for all you do. Ladies and gentlemen, Myles McNamara with Comfort Keepers in Home Care. Well, hope you enjoyed this edition of the VIA Hour on AM 1220 KHTS.